As slow going as this van project seems, getting it done little by little and getting it done right has been the most gratifying thing for me. I can't say I've ever taken on a project like this before, and this painful, delayed gratification goes against anything my capitalist, millennial upbringing has taught me. And it feels great. Last time we worked on the van, I sound dampened the entire thing, but I mostly showed you guys that project because it was done. The problem with showing you that project is it was out of order. See, before I could actually put in those sound dampening rubber mats, I had to completely strip out the old interior lining and carpet that was in the cab. And that's the video that we're making today. So today, I am going to be ripping out all of the rest of the internal upholstery, stuff that isn't really looking too good. This ceiling, honestly, I'll show it with this. The upholstery on the ceiling is wonderful. So I'm just gonna clean that up, but as you can tell right here, and on the other side, some of this is pretty damaged. So we're gonna go in today, and I'm going to cut all of that away so that I can reupholster. So, and then the door panels I'm gonna do as well. Yeah. I started first with the lining, which took hours for me to do. I feel like this van probably sat around a lot. I mean, a lot of the insides look old and worn, but they don't look like someone had overused them. Pieces of this lining just disintegrated in my hand as I ripped it apart. This was a messy project. I gotta bring you guys into the van, because it's starting to rain out there. I'll go ahead and show you. Got some rainy days. There we go. Perfect. You might be able to even see clear. So I got that done and this one done. All things considered, this wasn't the most fun project, but the hatch kept me dry and I was pretty lucky that most of the time I was in the van ripping out the lining. I'll go ahead and do a montage for you guys now. So, I want to share the beautiful Oregon day. This is kind of gorgeous out here. Sure, the camera doesn't do it justice, but good Lord, that's our sky. Okay, so I got those two backs done over here and all this side. I have then stripped everything pretty much. I mean, there's this right here, this tape. But I've pretty much stripped everything else that's in here. Funnily enough, it took me about 2 weeks after I removed all this lining to even notice that I left that strip in there. Pretty vigilant guy, aren't you, Barry? Beyond, honestly, the carpeting up in the front. So, I'm almost done. Once we strip it, I can go grab upholstery and throw it up. I also do need to wash this that's up here, though. this stuff. It's a little dirty. And I need to figure out what color to use for this. So, we're going to work on that. But for now, we're going to get back to ripping this stuff out. After I got all the lining out, I started working on the carpet. Now, I don't know what kind of industrial cement the Germans used to stick this stuff down, but it was a major pain in the ass to remove. It got so tricky that I had to go to the gym for a month to bulk up just so I was strong enough to pull this sucker out of here. Okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. It took me a couple hours and even the help of some tools, but I was able to finally get it all removed. So let's jump into montage number 2. So I'm actually kind of wondering if I want to keep this carpet up here. But then again, if I do recarpet, I'll just want to recarpet the whole thing. So I guess I may as well just rip it out. Now, after I got the carpeting removed, the lining torn out, and the cab cleaned up a bit, it was now time to screw everything back in and prep it for the carpet. Okay, so let's take ourselves a tour of the bus now. So, we got all that back there is done. Everything along the edges and up to the top where everything is good. That's all taken care of. Everything up here, all the way down, completely stripped off. Everything up in front, back around the other side, and up and along all this. So everything on the inside is taken off. I left this stuff. I may just apply some rubber up here instead of doing carpet, just it's easier to clean. Now I'm going to take a broom to this and I can set my flooring back up. It was at this point that I cleaned out the cab and the living space of my van. You guys already know this story. Once the space was cleaned up and the sound dampening rubber mats replaced, it was finally time for me to install the carpet, which is the actual protagonist of our story today. So I actually had a buddy of mine help me out with this part. I went looking for carpets for a while, went to stores where sales reps told me what I'd need and how to do it. They expected me to pay upwards of $200 just for some carpet because it needed to be heat treatable and stretched to fit, and a guy like me would never be able to do it myself. I would need a professional to help me out. Now look, I don't know about you, but I'm not the kind of person who likes being told what I can and can't do. You let me figure that out. So I left their store and I went to Home Depot where I found a $20 roll of this bluish gray carpet, a can of spray glue, and I went to work. Now, before I actually started working on the carpet, I knew I wanted to keep this hard foam dampener. So I took some soap and water and cleaned it up a bit. After that, it was time to start cutting the carpet into place. Now, I could run you through step by step what we did, but essentially we just cut pieces out larger than what we needed, wrapped them around the space that they needed to fill, and glued it down as we went through cutting it up. We made plenty of mistakes, but this carpet was forgiving enough that we could just cut a new piece out and put it in the place of said mistake. Honestly, the final product looks really good, but you'll see that soon. For now, it's montage time. Now look, I know that montage was long, but I think just wrapping one of those seat buckets took about 2 hours, and like I said, we had no idea what we were doing. As I said before, there were many mistakes, and if I can give you one tip, wear a face mask if you're ever going to be doing this. Screw the whole COVID thing, that's not why. This spray glue throws tiny little glue particles up into the air, and it makes your nose hairs stick together. Incredibly annoying and probably very dangerous, especially with how flammable this stuff is. Once the first bucket was done, however, we moved on to the second, and a few days later, I finished up the project with my mother. So, as you guys probably know by now, the last couple days has been working with this carpet, and a bit of it is kind of a pain. So we were gonna try to do one whole piece to cover the whole floor, but it's looking like we're probably gonna have to cut a few different pieces out and try to get it all working. So let's see what we can do. Honestly, after cutting all these pieces out, all it really took was gluing them into place. Like I said, that was a lot easier than those damn buckets. Now I also decided not to go all the way up with some of this carpet. We still need to remaster the dash, and if we decide that we gotta run cables, I didn't want to have to tear this carpet back out. So for now, this project is complete. And in the end, it turned out beautiful. So after spending the day with all of this, this is what it looks like up in here. And it looks really good, the color with the seat. Let's go ahead and jump in here real quick. Take a look at what we've done today. Yeah, I'd say a job well done for today. I never thought I'd have a project like this before. As time goes on and we add to it, she really does become mine. There are so many projects, but I'm honestly a lot closer to being done than you all know. As far as you're concerned, we've bled the clutch, touched up the transmission box, cinched the heater hoses, rewired the rear, and sound dampened her. But there have been so many other projects that you guys haven't seen yet, and I can't wait to share them with you. I have to say, putting that carpet in was not an easy job. It was time consuming, I made plenty of mistakes, and I got that damn spray glue everywhere. I guess you could say that installing a new carpet in a 1980s van is a bit of a rugged experience. Bye guys.
What was that? How did that flee so far? It was like a dangerous projectile.
I have no idea. It's kind of funny though.